So it was 1996. I was a sophomore in college. It was 3 in the morning, and I was driving through Mississippi, and I was speeding. I had this terrible bout of insomnia that lasted through college, and it was because growing up, I had this curfew and a bedtime. Even as a senior in high school, I had to be in bed at 9, strict parents. So when I finally got to go away to college, I didn't want to go to sleep. I didn't want to miss anything. And the anything wasn't like going to a bar and having awesome, sex or drugs or something cool. It was like I didn't want to miss all of the showings of the BBC miniseries I, Claudius. Or it would mean taking these long solo road trips to exotic locales like Vicksburg, Mississippi. And so one of these times I'm driving around aimlessly, going fast, in my Dodge Neon, and whipping through my hair, the soundtrack of the Indigo Girls, because I'm a rocking kind of guy. And sure enough, cherries, siren, cops. I had never been pulled over before. I had never been pulled over by a Mississippi police officer. All I knew about Mississippi police was from the movie Ghosts of Mississippi, wherein all cops have guts, they have belts that don't seem to work, so you have to do this, and they're racist as fuck. Can I say that? Yeah. Okay, yeah, racist as fuck. And so I was really scared. I thought I was going to get pulled over, Rodney King was going to happen, and no one was going to see anything because it was deserted Jackson, Mississippi. So I'm freaking out. The cop gets out of his cruiser. He's got a flashlight. He's got his hand on his gun because he's a professional. And he approaches, looking at my car, comes up to me, and goes, "Son, where are you going?" And I got my hand at 10 and 2. I'm looking at him, and I don't know, I didn't make this decision consciously, okay? This happened autonomically. I said, "So sorry." No understand. I don't know what happened, okay? This is not me going like, "Oh, I do this all the time." I go to Mississippi to lie to cops by doing my Margaret Cho routine. No, it was automatic. Because growing up as a kid, like I grew up in South Central LA and later in Miami and all of these places, I was the only Asian kid. Everybody pointed to me, laughed at me. I knew when Asian people became popular in popular culture because I would be called that name. Like Judge Ito made it big when I was called Judge Ito. Or Jackie Chan became popular because, "Hey, Jackie Chan, you kung fu." So, being in this kind of environment, I learned the two methods for surviving, okay? Because I don't like getting punched in the face, and I was getting punched a lot. So I learned to run really fast. I would have beaten Flojo in any race, as long as we replaced the starting pistol with a 4th grade bully yelling racial epithets. Or I learned to make fun of my Asianness first. By doing that, people don't have the strength to punch if they're laughing. So I learned to do the haro and all of those really cheap, hack jokes in order to survive. So flashback to the police officer, Light. He hears me go, "So sorry," and he does what all cops who are professionals do. He repeats what he said, except slower and louder. "Son, where are you going?" And of course I'm like, I go home, I'm so sleepy. Because I have now set the bar of lying to a cop, I'm gonna Meryl Streep it. I'm gonna go full out. So then he's like, "Why were you going so fast?" And I'm like, I don't understand. It's just, and tears are coming down. I want to go home. So So at this point, he's decided I'm no longer a threat. Hands off the gun, he's leaning forward. He's like, I'm going to communicate with this kid. He's like, okay, license and registration. So I'm like, oh, okay, license. Take out the license, hand it to him. Nodding to him like, you see, I'm helping you. And he goes, registration. Okay. Registration. No understand. Paper. Oh, paper! I reach over to the glove compartment, take out everything. Just like, there you go! Cop's like, oh. And he realizes this is a lost case. He starts rifling through 5 interviews, dumps it all in my lap. He goes, stay here. Goes off to his cruiser. I'm thinking during that pause, that long pause where the cop's doing whatever he does, I'm thinking there's no way he bought this. I'm going to jail. What are my Miranda rights? Do I have a quarter to use to make my phone call? This is over. Like, just rivets of sweat are coming down. I'm just thinking, how am I going to explain this to my parents? Why am I going to jail? Oh man, I'm too gentle to go to jail. So the cop comes back, hands me my ID, and goes, go home. Go slow. I was like, okay. And he goes off, and he was gone, man. He was zoom. Because normally, like, you drive off, he waits there, does his typey thing, and right? No, he was out of there. Like, he was afraid I was going to come to the window and go, how do I vote to a wonderful house or something? So, I'm high-fiving myself, right? Like, I'm thinking, I beat the man, I beat the system, I'm so cool, yay me! And I live off of this story for like 10 years. And everybody I meet, like, hey, let me tell you about this cop story. Oh, I want to meet a cop. Until I told this story to a friend of mine, and where other people would laugh, he would just go, And at the end, when other people were like, hey, good job, he was like, you really got lucky. How do you mean? You fooled the nicest cop in Mississippi. Because he really could have like messed with you. He could have given you 10 tickets because you don't speak the language. He could have just been like, you did all of this stuff. And when he handed it to you, you could have been like, oh, thank you, officer. Wait a second. I thought we had an understanding. I couldn't have given up the accent thing and not get in trouble. And then he was also, my friend was saying, like, you know, you kind of did the racist thing yourself, right? Why are you proud of this? You fooled a nice guy into getting away from something, with something that you should have been punished for. So needless to say, this troubled me, okay? And I was thinking to myself, like, I guess I can't do this story anymore. I can't really feel proud about this. And I was able to test this, new lesson that I had learned like 2 days later, because I speed all the time. I got pulled over. And the cop comes up to my car, and he's a white cop. And for a second there, I was thinking, okay, do I roll the R's? How do I do this? Do I say, how to roll again? And he goes, son, you were speeding. I said, I understand. Thanks.